you tired of living life on autopilot? Are you ready to slow down, get centered, and feel fully alive again? Welcome. My name is Abby Ilardi Lowry, and I'm a licensed professional counselor, a yoga and embodiment instructor, and a creative wellness facilitator. And this is Centered with Abby, a podcast that helps people transform their everyday lives so they can live more deeply. Today's episode is an audio essay that I call Living Deeply in a Shallow Age. If you want the companion article and some resources to help you turn these insights into action, make sure to check out our Substack community at centeredwithabby.com. That's CENTERED with ABBY.com. And join us for free. Today's reflection is basically my manifesto on why I started this online community. And this is a little more personal than I often get online, but I hope it resonates with you and gives you something to think about. So take a grounding breath, settle in, and let's begin. We'll start with an abridged quote from Henry David Thoreau's classic book, Walden. It goes like this: I wished to live deliberately, and not when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life. I'm going to be honest and admit that I've never actually finished reading Walden. I tried once. It was summer vacation, and I was about 20 years old, sitting on a plane from Kansas City to Boston. I was in that pretentious college student phase where I thought that reading classic literature, philosophy, and nonfiction for fun on my school breaks made me sophisticated. I wanted to like Walden. I really did. A cabin in the woods, an escape from society. It sounded right up my alley. But I only got about 3 chapters in before I couldn't take Thoreau's ranting anymore. I'm pretty sure I gave up and switched to a magazine, and I haven't felt much temptation to try again in the intervening 8 years. However, I recently stumbled upon that famous quote again, and it spoke to me. More accurately, it haunted me. It kept slipping into my consciousness, taunting me, tapping me on the shoulder, and demanding my attention. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life. I've seen this quote floating around many times before. It's paraphrased on bumper stickers, notebook covers, and inspirational Instagram captions. And every time I've encountered the quote, it's sparked something within me. But never like this. Something about it is stirring up my innards and forcing me into self-examination. I feel the words looming over me like the officer in a cop show, shining the harsh interrogation light onto my life and pressuring me into a confession. Am I living deliberately? Am I living deeply? Am I living at all? My knee-jerk responses to those questions terrified me. Like Thoreau, I also fear the prospect of lying on my deathbed and discovering that I had forgotten to truly live while I was alive. I fear discovering, only after it's too late, that I wasted a perfectly good life. And my life is good, generally speaking. I have a roof over my head, food on my table, gas in my car. I adore my husband. I have fabulous friends. I come from a loving family. I'm obsessed with my curmudgeonly 15-year-old dog, even when he wakes me up at 2 a.m. every night. By many metrics, I'm living the dream. And yet sometimes I spend so much time dreaming that I forget to live. Sometimes I feel like I'm sleepwalking through life. Like the days bleed together, the weeks sprint along, the seasons disappear into one another until one day I blink and 3 years are gone. As I near the end of my 20s, I can't help but feel that I somehow forgot to be young while I still had the chance. Now, I don't want to be overly dramatic, nor do I want to sound ungrateful. I have had plenty of moments in which I paused along the way to appreciate my life. I really do try to slow down and smell the roses, at least on occasion. And like anyone, I have those flashbulb memories that feel vivid and rich with detail. Those beautiful moments when time seems to have grown more expansive through retrospect. But I don't want to live through my memories. I want to savor every drop of the moment before it becomes a memory. I want to live, not just remember living. Sometimes my life feels like taking a bullet train through a gorgeous landscape. I technically saw the sights. I appreciated the view for 30 seconds through the window as the train sped across the tracks on its way to some more important destination. But can I really say I've seen a place that I only briefly passed through? My soul longs for a life where I can get off the train, breathe the crisp air, feel the grass under my feet, throw my hands in the air, and twirl around a la Julie Andrews in The Sound of Music. I may have seen the sights from the smudged train window, but I'm bypassing the experience. And I know I'm not alone in that feeling. As a therapist, I have the privilege of listening to people's thoughts and fears on a regular basis. And for years, I've sensed a collective desire for deeper living. It's what's missing from many therapy modalities, and it's what's missing from most of our lives. True well-being requires more than symptom reduction. From conversations with friends, to posts from strangers on social media, to sessions in my therapy office, I've been continually confronted with this mass yearning for something more. More joy, more purpose, more connection, more peace, more presence. And a need for something less. Less stress, less rushing, less scrolling, less complication, less chaos. Essentially, we're longing for a different way of life. We long to slow down enough to experience the fullness of the moment, to squeeze out every last drop and let the flavor linger on our tongues. The problem is, we can't all quit our jobs and move to a cabin in the woods. And even if we could, I kind of doubt that would really solve anything. We must find this new way of living within ourselves, within the confines of our own reality. It's one thing to live deeply when you're on vacation in a gorgeous location with few distractions or responsibilities, but I want to carry that feeling with me into the mundanity and stress of daily life. I want to live deeply in the everyday. Though it may be hard, I do believe that it's possible. And I'm making it my mission to discover how, and to help others do the same. I was planning on spending some time in this essay analyzing what went wrong in our society that has led so many of us to crave a new way of life. I wanted to point the finger of our collective discontent at social media, or chronic overscheduling, or the economy, or corporate culture, or capitalism, or any number of aspects of our modern era. And I do believe that all of those things make deep living extraordinarily challenging in the 21st century. But as I was writing about the woes of our modern era, I realized something. This desire for deeper living, it isn't new. Thoreau wrote about it in the 1850s. The Stoics wrote about it in ancient Rome. There are aspects of it woven within spiritual, religious, and philosophical texts across time and culture. Wanting to live more deeply seems to be a feature of the human condition, and people have likely wrestled with this concept in some shape or form since the beginning of time. But now, it's our turn. It's time for a new generation to wrestle with the age-old question. This time within a societal context that thwarts deep living at every turn. How do we suck all the marrow out of life, get off the bullet train, end our sleepwalking, and take our lives back? How do we live deeply in a shallow age? This project, Centered with Abby, is my attempt to find out. Everything you'll read, hear, or practice in this community is aimed at that one goal: learning to trade autopilot for aliveness. I'll be blending my personal experiences and insights with my professional expertise and my passion for teaching and facilitation to create something new. An online community/newsletter/studio that's designed to be a hub for deep living in the everyday. We'll combine insight and action, reflection and real-world application, and curiosity and community to help you create the life you want to be living. If this is resonating with you, if you feel that same existential tug, please consider subscribing so that you can join me on this mission to live more deeply and to help others do the same. You can learn more about my planned offerings and community in the show notes. And if you'd like to spread the word, please share this with a friend, or 2 or 10. I'm trying to build a genuine community of like-minded people who are wanting the same things out of life. And I'm truly building this community from the ground up. I started with 0 subscribers. And I'd love your help spreading our reach as far as possible. Finally, I invite you to reflect a little bit on your own life. What does living deeply mean to you? Do you feel like you're living life to the fullest? Or do you also need a reset? Maybe take some time to reflect on these questions, maybe journal, or share your thoughts in the comments section. And I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to Centered with Abby. And again, if you'd like to dive deeper, this is your personal invitation to join our Substack community at centeredwithabby.com for more reflection questions and exercises to help you put these ideas into practice. I hope you have a nice rest of your day or night, and I'll see you next week for a Centered with Abby mini retreat. Take care.